Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Elden Ring video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Trunks build that I've been working on. Ignore the fact that he looks like he's an abusive father of 3 who's been drinking constantly. So, in classic future Trunks fashion, we have a claymore here to be his sword. It even comes pre-installed with Lion's Claw. It's perfect for recreating the moment when Trunks murders Frieza. Now that the DLC has come out, we have another great option to use for Trunks, the fist. I mean, what better weapon to use besides martial arts? He has to live up to that abusive father. Lastly, as far as weapons go, we have Azur's Glintstone Staff. You could honestly use whatever staff you want with this build. I just picked this one because it reduces casting time, but you could use Lusats or any of the other ones really. In order to get Azur's staff, you must go to the Church of the Cuckoo, climb up the ladder, and make your way across the bridge, and go grab it from the big ball of faces. As far as spells, I used Comet, the Cannon of Haima, and of course, Comet Azur. The reason for picking these spells is, well, they seem like the most Dragon Ball spells you can really get. Anything that represents some kind of energy blast, in my opinion, I think fits pretty well with the character. These are the stats of my build. As you can see, I got 60 Vigor, 35 Mind, 27 Endurance, 45 Strength, 13 Dex, 80 Intelligence, 8 Faith, and 11 Arcane. Obviously, if you wanted to focus more on using the sword or the fist, you could put more points into Strength versus Intelligence, but it just depends on what you want to do. I would also like to shout out Rez Does Something for making a video about this kind of build before me. So make sure to go check his video out. I'll leave a link in the description below. So the first item on the list to find is Terra Magica. So first we travel to the Academy Crystal Cave, beat some Crystallian ass, make my way up the elevator and up the ladder, and grab our reward, Terra Magica. Now I'm sure as many of you know, this is where good old Azur would be sitting. He's gone now, for obvious reasons. I've beat the game. But anyway, this is where you would get Comet Azur. In order to get the physics tier, you gotta come down here and kill the ulcerated tree spirit that sits down here. This is the tier that allows you to use infinite mana for a period of time. With these powers combined, the ultimate cheese has been created. And I know most people know about this, but hey, I'm just showing in case if people don't know. You could pretty much beat the entire game with this. As for the regular Comet, it's located here in the Academy of Raya Lucaria. If you walk out from the debate parlor and then hang a right, there's a bookshelf here that's actually an invisible wall. Punch that and claim your reward. If only they added mimics in this game. In the Atlas Plateau, next to the big glowing flaming frenzy eye, there is a rise over yonder. This rise is special because it's locked by an emote. Using the Your Edition emote, I don't know how to pronounce that, you will gain access to this rise. And then you go to the top and claim your reward of Cannon of Haima. Moving on to the Claymore, this one's actually a pretty easy one to get, and early on at that. Make your way up the lift to Castle Morn, climbing this mountain of bodies and sewage, and going across to this door, taking a left, and the chest right here will hold the sword. Now I know it's a little late into the game until you get the fist, but when you make your way into the DLC, you'll find yourself here, where you emote in front of Dane, and then you challenge him to unlock the fist weapon. Moving on to Talismans. The Talismans for this build definitely depend on which weapon you're focusing on at the time. So first I'm going to be going through the magic-based Talismans. So as you can see, we're at Raya Lucaria, where you will come up this ladder and grab the Radagon icon. Now this one's really only useful if you're not using the Azur staff, so keep that in mind. The next one is the Godfrey icon. It's located here in the Atlas Plateau. You'll have to enter the Everjail here and kill Godfroy the Grafted. Here you'll get the Primal Glintstone Blade, located here on the Mountaintop of Giants, in the Stargazer's Ruins. You'll have to use your Jellyfish Summon in order to open up the passageway which leads to the chest down here. The next useful talisman for magic is located here in the Albernoric Rise. Here you can get the Graven Mass Talisman. It will be located here next to this big ball at the top of the tower. Moving on to talismans that are useful for the Claymore, here we were able to get Alexander's Great Shard. Now, of course, you have to complete all of Alexander's questline to do this, so it's a little late game in order to acquire this talisman, but it's really, really good, especially with Lion's Claw. You just have to give him a true warrior's death. Gets me every time. Moving on to the Claw Talisman, which enhances jumping attacks, which Trunks is known for using with the sword. You're going to make your way across this jump in Godfrey's castle and do a little bit of parkouring until you reach a ladder. Climb up the top of the ladder and claim your reward of the Claw Talisman. The next talisman is another DLC item, so again, won't be getting this until later in the game, but the two-handed talisman is really, really good with two-handed swords. So you're going to make your way to the Templetown ruins, go through the little hole in the wall, climb up all the way through all the ruins, and run past the big dude at the end and claim your prize of the talisman. Moving on, this is a talisman that really works with any aspect of the build. Everyone probably knows this one. The Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. This talisman boosts all physical damage negation by 20%. That's good numbers, baby. Anyway, you go to Miquella's Halig Tree, climb across some roots, jump through a little hole in the roof of the church, and land on some bugs and try not to die. Moving on to talismans that would work well with the fist, we have the Twin Blade Talisman. It's located here in Castle Morn, where you take this pretty simple path all the way up to this tower, and in the chest at the very top is the talisman. The next talisman you get for completing Millicent's questline, but I can't really show you anything about that because, well, she's gone. Let's say you get locked out of Millicent's questline, or you want to get this before you finish Millicent's questline. You can come to the Stillwater Cave and kill the boss of this cave to get the weaker version of the talisman. Now, in order to acquire the drip, you have to come over here to the Traveling Merchant and purchase the Tree Surcoat. You can acquire some pants that work pretty well early on. All you have to do is beat Godfrey and then talk to Gostok after beating him, and he will sell you the bandit pants. Just make sure you don't kill him. Also, he's in a different spot because I was doing Nefeli's questline, but don't worry about that, he's usually outside. Or you could use the Preceptor's pants that you get after completing Ronnie's quest. That pretty much does it for this build. I appreciate you guys watching this far into the video, and if you've made it this far, I'd appreciate you dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to continue posting a lot of Souls content, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, etc., so make sure you subscribe so you can get notified when I'm posting. And to those of you who are worried about the Hog Rider video, don't worry, it's coming. I am just taking a long time on it because, yeah. But if you do like these shorter form videos, be sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys later.